Hi everyone, today I thought we would take a look at all the weapons and their special abilities. We're going to start off with the bow and arrows, but we're going to see the sword, the shield, the bow and arrow, and the warhammer. Now let me explain what I mean by special abilities. By special abilities I mean these things. Things in the big square boxes. Here you see me specking out my bow, and you can get 6 different special abilities on the bow. Now at the beginning of the game, respecking is free, and I advise you to take advantage of that. I'm going to show you what these different things do. The first one is the Evasive Shot, where you jump backwards. The middle one is the Rapid Shot, where you shoot 3 arrows in quick succession. The third green box is the Penetrating Shot, which goes through one opponent and then also into the one behind that opponent. So let's take a look at these and I'll show you what they do. The first one is the Rapid Shot. The third arrow on the Rapid Shot does the most damage, so try to land all 3 of them. The next shot after that will be the Jump Back Shot. You don't want to use this as your first attack, but your last attack. You see how he's charging you? So you want to shoot him with a regular arrow first, and as he's charging you is when you want to jump back. Now the third ability is the Penetrating Shot. That arrow went through the first wolf and into the tree in the background. But it should have gone into the wolf behind that wolf. The Penetrating Shot goes through different people. Next up is the Smoke Screen, the Triple Shot, or I don't know if that's what it's called, that's what I'm calling it. And then the Rain of Arrows. And here I am, I'm just mapping them to the hotkeys. Your hotkeys are Q, E, and F. The first thing I'm going to show you is the Triple Shot. And you can see how far the arrows spread. That's good against multiple opponents. Like if you're fighting in a war and you're just shooting into a crowd of people. I guess it's also good if you're fighting monsters and you're getting attacked by several monsters at the same time. But you wouldn't really use it in melee combat against a single opponent. Now these special abilities have better uses in different situations. Here's the Smoke Screen. This is good when you're attacking or defending a fortress, but not really against wild animals. They just run right through it. He didn't even get fazed by the smoke. But a person wouldn't be able to see through that. Next, I'll show you the Rain of Arrows. It shoots a bunch of arrows into the sky, and then they all fall down on your target. As you can see, the range is pretty good. It shoots pretty far. And it does a lot of damage. You might not have been able to see that because he was so far away. So I'll try to zoom in a little bit so you can see better. And there, all the arrows fell on the target. Pretty cool. I like that. Next up, we have the Sword and Shield. We have the Whirling Blade, or Spinneroo as I like to call it, the Reverse Stab, and the Leaping Strike. For the shield, we have the Shield Bash, the Shield Rush, and the Final Stand. The first thing I'm going to show you is the Spinneroo, or Whirling Blade. That's good against multiple opponents when they gang up on you. That'll take care of them. I'm just waiting for the cooldown period to end. And then I'll show you the Backstab, or Reverse Strike. And you can see how he kind of turned around and stabbed from behind. That's kind of cool. You like some flair in your action? Now, if you look in the corner down there, you'll see that there's 20-second cooldown period on that. The different abilities have different cooldown periods, some of them shorter, some of them longer. Next up is the Leaping Strike. This one's kind of hard to see. Basically, he jumps up in the air and stabs down on the opponent. That does a lot of damage. That's a pretty good one too. Next, we're going to switch over to the shield, and I'll show you the abilities for the shield. We have the shield bash, the shield rush, and the final stand. The final stand is kind of confusing. Well, it's a little bit complicated, not confusing, but I'll explain that to you when we get there. I'm just remapping everything to my hotkeys here. And then we'll be good to go. There we go. Now let's just find a wolf. We'll bash into it with a shield bash. Shield bash knocks it back and stuns it for a couple of seconds so you can do your thing. If you want to level up any of your abilities, what you want to do is put points into the ones that are in line with that ability. Just follow the little white line down and put points in those to give your special ability more power. Now we're going to try out the shield rush. We're basically going to run into this wolf with our shield. That also knocks it down and stuns it. That lets you do whatever you want, chop its head off, all that good stuff. Next is the final stand. I'm just waiting for the cooldown period to end here so I can show it off to you. He's going to tap his shield twice. That gives him a buff, gives him more defensive power for when he fights this creature. So let's read that, and let's see if we can explain it a little bit. Now that's probably too small for you to read, so let me zoom in on it, and I'll read it to you. Final stand. Defender takes a defensive stance that applies a buff that reduces all incoming damage for 10 seconds. The damage reduction will scale up as health goes down. When player's health is at 100%, incoming damage will be reduced by 10%. As health drops to 20%, damage will be reduced up to 80%. So it gets stronger as you take more damage. Next, let's talk about the Warhammer. This is the clear out. It knocks everybody back and clears them out. The hammer requires a little bit of timing, but once you get the timing down, it's pretty devastating. And it's also pretty fun to hit things with a giant hammer, especially rabbits. Next up is the Shockwave. I'm not really sure what that does because I missed. I did not hit the wolf. But it is something cool. I just didn't record it. Now let's go get another wolf and I'll show you the Path of Destiny. Because of the angle that I filmed this, it's a little bit hard to see. But look at the ground when I hit the wolf. It splatters out into like a smash pattern. Well, I missed that one too. What the heck? Okay, for this one, I did try a second time because I realized that I missed. So this one has a 20-second cooldown. As I was saying earlier, the weapons have different cooldowns. And we're going to try again in a second. This time you will be able to see the pattern on the ground. That wasn't it. There you go. See the pattern? I think I missed the wolf a second time, but I got him. And that was the Path of Destiny. Now it's getting dark, so let me show you the last 3 abilities on the Warhammer. Have to respec. That is the Block Breaker, the Mighty Gavel, and the Wrecking Ball. Now the Block Breaker, you might not be able to see what it does, but if someone is blocking you, you use the Block Breaker to break through their block. Or you can just hit them in the butt like you did to that wolf. Next, the Mighty Gavel. With the Mighty Gavel, you're going to jump up in the air and just like that, and come smashing down on your opponent. Pretty devastating attack. One more, and then we'll call it a night, because it's getting dark, and I gotta go to bed. And the last ability is the Wrecking Ball. Can we find another wolf? Come on, where are you? I think I killed them all. Maybe inside the cave? There's one. This is the Wrecking Ball. And that's the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I'll have the rest of the weapons in a different video. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more weapons and more New World videos, why not subscribe? And I'll see you in the next episode.